He drilled a hole in the wall to watch her every move. He thought he'd catch her being lazy, stealing, or something worse. But what he saw through that tiny peephole changed everything, including the heart of stone he carried in his chest. This was back in the late 1800s, when coffee plantations in rural Georgia rose up like little kingdoms, and the boss's word was law. Women who worked in the big houses lived under suspicious stares and quick judgments. Widows wore black forever, and second chances didn't exist for folks born poor. Back then, dying in childbirth still took way too many young mothers, leaving broken husbands and kids who became motherless before they even understood what loss was. Some men, eaten up by grief, turned into shadows of themselves, unable to look at their own children without seeing the face of the woman they lost. But sometimes, in the dark corners of those big plantation houses, where suspicion drilled holes in walls and fear ruled louder than common sense, fate was cooking up lessons that only love could teach. Lessons about seeing past appearances, about trusting when everything says don't, about how the person you're spying on might end up being the one who saves you. Because this is one of those stories our grandmas told when they wanted to teach us that judging too fast is a bigger sin than messing up slow. If you believe everybody deserves to be truly seen, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below telling me what part of the country you're watching from. Let's walk together through the hallways of these old Georgia plantations, where secrets hid behind every door. James woke up before the sun, like always, but not because he wanted to. It was because the silence of the early morning hurt less than the silence of the day, when the whole house screamed her absence. Helen, his wife, had died 4 months ago, giving birth to a baby boy who didn't live even 2 hours. He got out of the empty bed, washed his face in the cold basin water, and looked in the cracked mirror hanging on the wall. He didn't recognize the man staring back. Only 32 years old, but he looked 60. Deep bags under his eyes, unshaved beard, eyes that didn't shine anymore. From the bedroom door, he could hear little Gabriel crying, soft, muffled sobs. The boy cried every single night, and James didn't know what to do. He couldn't go into that room. He couldn't pick his son up, because Gabriel had his mama's eyes, his mama's smile. Every time James looked at him, it felt like Helen was right there blaming him. "You let me die." Old Rosie, the cook who'd worked on the plantation for 20 years, knocked on the door. "Mr. James," the boy, crying again. "I tried to calm him, but he just wants his mama, and I ain't his mama." James cut her off, voice sharper than he meant. "Do what you can, Rosie. I'm heading to the coffee fields." "But Mr. James, the sun ain't even up yet. And the boy needs somebody who knows how to take care of him." "I don't know how, I never knew how." He grabbed his hat and walked out, leaving Rosie standing there with a look of pity and disappointment. James rode out to the farthest coffee field, the one way out back where nobody ever went. He sat under an old oak tree and let the pain out. He cried like he hadn't since the funeral, punched the dirt till his knuckles bled, yelled at the empty sky, asking God why he took her and not him. When he got back, it was already noon. The house was strangely quiet. Rosie was waiting in the kitchen, arms crossed, face tight. The boy didn't eat again, didn't drink a drop of water. "He's wasting away, Mr. James. He won't last another month like this." James felt his chest squeeze. "Call the doctor." Doctor, already come 3 times, said it ain't a sickness of the body, it's a sickness of the soul. The boy's dying of sadness. He needs care, love, a mama. "His mama's dead." James slammed his hand on the table, plates rattling. "But you ain't dead, sir, and as long as you're breathing, that boy needs somebody." Rosie crossed her arms. "I know it hurts. I know you're hurting too, but Gabriel's hurting just the same. And he's a child. He don't understand none of this. He just knows his mama's gone and his daddy disappeared right along with her." James ran his hands over his tired face. Rosie was right, she always was, but he had nothing left to give. "Hire somebody," he said after a long silence. "Hire a nanny, someone who knows how to take care of a child, someone who can do what I can't." Rosie nodded slow. "There's a girl in town, Anna worked over at Colonel Freeman's place, taking care of his grandkids. Folks say she's good, patient, loving. Then bring her here. How much does she want? Don't know, but I'll go today. James went upstairs and for the first time in weeks, pushed open Gabriel's door. The boy was curled up in bed, hugging a pillow that still smelled like Helen, his eyes red from crying. When he saw his daddy, he didn't run to him, didn't smile, just looked with sadness too old for such a little body. Gabriel, James tried to step closer, but his legs wouldn't move. Daddy, trying to be strong for you, but it's hard, son, so hard. The boy didn't answer, just turned away and hugged the pillow tighter. James closed the door slow and leaned against it, feeling the weight of failure crush his shoulders. He was losing his son and didn't know how to stop it. If this story already touched something inside you, smash that like button so it reaches more people. There's way more coming. Anna showed up the next day, brought by Rosie in the old plantation wagon. James saw her step down in the yard, a small bundle in her arms, simple brown dress patched at the elbows, dark hair tied in a low bun. She was young, maybe early 20s, pretty face but tired. Had that look of someone who'd already been through too much but still hadn't lost her kindness. He walked down from the porch to greet her, hat in hand. "You miss Anna?" "Yes, sir." Her voice was soft but steady. She looked him straight in the eye, no fear, just respect. Rosie explained everything. The boss lost his wife, the boy's suffering, needs caring for. James nodded. "How much do you charge?" Anna hesitated. "Whatever you think is fair, sir. I just need a place to stay and honest work." There was something in that, "I just need a place to stay," that stuck with James, but he didn't ask. Wasn't his business. "All right, Rosie'll show you your room out back. You'll take care of Gabriel. He don't talk, don't eat right, has nightmares. It won't be easy." "Kids who hurt are never easy, sir, but I've got patience." Something in the way she said it made James believe her. For the first time in months, he felt a tiny spark of hope. Rosie took Anna inside. James stood in the yard watching the door close. Then he thought, what if she's like the others? What if she hurts the boy? What if she steals? That old distrust, his constant companion since Helen died, started gnawing at him again. He didn't trust anything or anybody anymore. The world had taken the person he loved most. How could he trust a stranger with what was left? That's when the idea came, wrong, invasive, but impossible to resist. That night after everyone was asleep, James grabbed a small drill and climbed up to the attic above Gabriel's room. He found the exact spot where a loose floorboard lined up with the corner where Helen's old rocking chair sat. He drilled a tiny hole the size of a dime, tested it, could see the whole room, felt ashamed, but he did it anyway. Next morning, Anna started work. James heard her go upstairs early, knocking softly on Gabriel's door, her gentle voice. "Good morning, Gabriel. My name's Anna. I came to take care of you." "Silence." "That's okay if you don't want to talk yet. We don't have to rush." James stood hidden in the hallway listening. Anna went in and closed the door. He waited a few minutes, then crept up to the attic, lay on the dusty floor, pressed his eye to the hole, and watched. Anna sat in the rocking chair, facing the boy who was still curled up in bed. She didn't push, didn't force talk, just rocked slowly, humming a little song James didn't know. After about 10 minutes, Gabriel turned his head and looked at her. Anna smiled. "Hey there, you hungry?" The boy shook his head no. "That's all right. Whenever you are, just tell me. I brought bread with jelly. Miss Rosie said you like it." More silence, but this time Gabriel didn't turn away. He just kept looking. Up in the attic, James felt something weird in his chest, something he hadn't felt in months. Curiosity, and maybe, just maybe, hope. Have you ever had to trust someone when you weren't sure? Drop it in the comments. Her journey's just getting started. Days went by, and James built a secret routine. He'd pretend to ride out to the fields in the morning, then sneak back through the back gate, climb to the attic, and watch, always telling himself it was just to make sure the boy was safe. But what he saw day after day started breaking something inside him. He saw Anna stay patient when Gabriel threw his plate of food on the floor. She didn't yell, didn't spank, just cleaned it up, sat back down and offered it again. Whenever you're ready, it's right here. He saw Anna wake up in the middle of the night when Gabriel screamed from nightmares. She'd run to his room, light a candle, and sing till he fell back asleep, every single night, never complaining. He saw Anna teach the boy to fold his little hands in prayer. Let's ask your mama up in heaven to watch over you. She's seeing everything, you know, and she's proud. And one rainy afternoon, he saw Anna sitting on the floor with Gabriel in her lap, showing him an old locket she wore around her neck. This was my mama. She went to heaven when I was little too, but you know what she taught me? Love doesn't stop when the person leaves. It stays right here. She touched the boy's chest over his heart. James, watching through the hole, felt tears burn his eyes. This stranger was doing what he couldn't. She was healing his son. But it was in the second week that he saw something that made him question everything. Anna was changing clothes in the corner of the room, back turned, and even with the bad angle James saw her belly, rounded, not huge, but enough. She was pregnant. His heart raced, pregnant, alone, working as a nanny on an isolated plantation. What happened? Where was the baby's father? Why did she need a place to stay so bad? The old distrust came rushing back, but now mixed with something else. Pity and anger, anger at whoever abandoned her, anger at a world that threw women out for getting pregnant outside marriage. That night at dinner, James waited till Anna took Gabriel upstairs. Then he asked Rosie real quiet. Rosie, Anna's pregnant. Rosie stopped stirring the pot, turned slow. Yeah, about 4 months. The daddy ran off. Was her fiancé, promised to marry her, then found out her family had no money, just debt. He vanished. Her folks kicked her out, called her, well, you know what they called her. James clenched his fists. That's why she needed work so bad. That's why, and I brought her anyway, because she's good people, Mr. James, and sometimes we judge wrong. The ones who need mercy most are the ones the world already condemned. James didn't sleep that night. Part of him wanted to send Anna away, not because she was pregnant, but because now he knew she was vulnerable. Too vulnerable was dangerous. He might get attached. Gabriel might get attached. And then what? She'd leave one day, have her baby and disappear, and they'd hurt all over again. But a smaller part, quieter but louder somehow, whispered, what if she stays? What if she's the answer? Ever judged someone before knowing their whole story? Think about that, because what's coming next is gonna shake everything. 3 weeks after Anna arrived, Gabriel spoke. It was a sunny morning. She was out back hanging laundry, and he followed her with a stick, drawing in the dirt. Anna was humming, and he listened quietly. All of a sudden, a tiny voice cut the air. Anna. She froze, turned slow 30. You talked. Gabriel nodded, face serious. Anna, are you gonna leave? Her eyes filled with tears. She dropped the sheet and knelt in front of him. No, baby, I'm not going anywhere. Promise. She took his little hands. Promise. And for the first time since his mama died, Gabriel smiled. Rosie saw it all from the kitchen window and ran to the field where James was working. Mr. James, the boy talked, he talked. James dropped his hoe and ran. When he got to the yard, he saw Gabriel in Anna's arms, laughing while she pretended to be a horse galloping. That laugh, his son's laugh, was like a punch in the chest. Anna saw James and stopped, embarrassed. She put Gabriel down. Sorry, sir, we were just. He talked, James cut in, voice breaking. He talked, and he laughed too. James looked at his son. Gabriel looked back, still a little shy, but he didn't run, didn't cry. Gabriel, James knelt down to the boy's level. Son, Daddy's so sorry for everything. I didn't know how to help you, but Anna, he looked at her. Anna did it. Anna looked down, cheeks red. Gabriel took one hesitant step toward his daddy, then another, then ran and threw himself into James's arms. James caught him, held him tight, and cried everything he'd been holding in, the pain, the guilt, the fear, the anger. It all poured out in that desperate hug with the son he almost lost. Anna turned away, wiping her own tears, giving them space. That night, for the first time in months, Gabriel ate dinner at the table with his daddy and ate every bite. Then Anna took him upstairs, gave him a bath, put on his nightshirt, and sat on the bed to tell a story. James, like always, went up to the attic, not to spy anymore, but because he wanted to watch, wanted to understand how she did it. Through the hole he saw Gabriel curled up against Anna, listening to a story about a little bird who lost his mama but found a new family. When she finished, the boy asked, "Anna, you'll never really leave, right?" Anna hesitated, and James saw a tear roll down her cheek from the bad angle. "I don't want to leave, Gabriel, but sometimes we don't get to choose. Sometimes other people choose for us." "My daddy chooses." "I don't know, baby." "Then I'll ask him to let you stay forever." Anna pulled the boy close, and James saw her shoulders shake. She was crying quietly. That's when he understood. She was attached. Gabriel was attached, and he was attached too. This woman he barely knew had saved what was left of his family, and now what? Sometimes the person who saves us comes from the place we least expect. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this journey with us. 2 more weeks went by. Gabriel ate, played, slept without nightmares. James started smiling again, something nobody on the plantation had seen in almost a year. And Anna blossomed. She was still quiet, still kept her place as the help, but there was a lightness in her now. Until Mrs. Elena arrived. James's mother showed up unannounced one Thursday morning in her black carriage pulled by 2 horses. She was almost 60, back straight, black dress. She'd worn mourning clothes for 10 years since her husband died and never took them off. Eyes that could cut like a knife. "James," she stepped down without help, ignoring the driver's hand. "I came to see my grandson, heard you hired some girl to take care of him." James came down the porch steps, already feeling the storm coming. "Mama, I didn't know you were coming. I don't need to announce myself to visit my own son." She marched up the steps and into the house without waiting. "Where's the creature?" "If you mean Gabriel, he's out back playing with Anna." Mrs. Elena froze, turned. "Playing, the boy who wouldn't talk, wouldn't eat, wouldn't do nothing, is playing." "Anna did it, she saved him." "That Anna, who is she?" James swallowed hard. "A girl from town, worked for Colonel Freeman. Rosie recommended her." "Rosie," Mrs. Elena snorted. "That woman thinks she runs this place more than the owners." She walked to the window looking out back. Out there, Anna was pushing Gabriel on a swing James had built a few days ago. The boy laughed, begging higher, higher, and Anna laughed too, her simple dress flying in the wind. Mrs. Elena narrowed her eyes. "She's pregnant." James clenched his hands. "Yes. And the husband? There isn't one." The silence was ice cold. Mrs. Elena turned slow, eyes blazing. "You hired a pregnant woman with no husband to raise my grandson. Are you insane, James?" "She's a good person, Mama. She saved Gabriel. He was dying." "I don't care what she did." Mrs. Elena slammed her cane on the floor. "You know what people will say, that you're sheltering a loose woman, that my grandson is being raised by a—" "Watch your next word." James's voice was low, dangerous. Mrs. Elena stepped closer. "You send her packing today." "No." "What did you say?" "I said no, she stays. Gabriel needs her, and I need her too." Mrs. Elena stared like she didn't know him. "You're falling for her, for a pregnant servant carrying another man's child. James, you buried your wife 6 months ago. 6 months, and you're already thinking of another." "I'm not thinking anything," he shouted, losing it. "I'm just trying to survive, trying to save my son, and she's doing what nobody else could, including you." The slap came fast. Mrs. Elena hit her son hard across the face, leaving a red mark burning. "Don't you dare talk to me like that. I'm your mother." James held his cheek, breathing heavy. Out back, Anna had heard the yelling. She scooped Gabriel up and slipped in the back door, trying to disappear, but Mrs. Elena saw her. "You come here." Anna stopped, set Gabriel down. "Yes, ma'am. You know who I am. The boss's mother." "That's right, and I'm giving you a warning. Pack your things and be gone before sundown. I never want to see you near my grandson again." Gabriel grabbed Anna's skirt, scared. "No, she's not going." Mrs. Elena looked at her grandson with pity. "You don't understand now, Gabriel, but one day you'll thank me." Anna knelt, hugged the boy. "It's okay," but her voice shook. She looked at James, searching for what? Defense, support. And James, torn between his mother and the woman who saved his son, stayed silent. That silence was a death sentence. Anna understood. She stood up, wiped tears before they fell, and said, "I'll pack my things." Do you think he'll let her go? Tell me in the comments. The final showdown is coming. Anna went to her little room out back, heart shattered, threw her bundle on the bed and started folding her few clothes. Hands shaking, not from anger, from pain. She'd let herself believe she'd finally found a home, a family. But no, she was just the help, the nanny, the fallen woman nobody wanted around. Gabriel showed up at the door crying. "Anna, don't go." She knelt, hugged him tight. "I have to, baby. Your grandma doesn't want me here. But I want you, and Daddy does too." "Your daddy didn't say anything, Gabriel, and when somebody doesn't speak up, that means they agree." The boy ran off yelling, "Daddy, Daddy, make her stay." Anna finished packing. She was coming down the stairs when she heard raised voices in the living room. "You're a coward, James, a coward." It was Rosie, furious, fearless. "That woman saved your son, and you're letting your mother run her off." "Rosie, you don't understand. My mother. Your mother is a bitter old woman who wants everybody to suffer like she does, and you're obeying her like a scared little boy." Anna stopped on the stairs, listening. "And another thing," Rosie went on, "I know about the hole." "Silence." "What hole?" Mrs. Elena's voice. "The hole your son drilled in the attic floor to spy on Anna, to watch her like she was a thief. I saw the wood shavings. I saw him sneaking up there every day." Anna felt the floor drop out from under her. A hole. James had been spying on her. "James, is this true?" Mrs. Elena asked, shocked for a whole new reason. James didn't answer, but his silence said everything. Anna came down the rest of the stairs, walked into the room. Everybody turned. She looked straight at James, eyes shining with tears and fury. "It's true." He opened his mouth, closed it, looked down. "You drilled a hole to watch me. How long, James?" "Anna, I was scared." "Scared?" She stepped closer, voice rising. "You hired me, brought me into your home, and instead of trusting me, you watched me like a criminal. You saw everything, saw me changing, saw me crying, saw me. I saw you saving my son." James looked up, tears in his eyes too. "I saw you being patient when I was. I saw you loving him when I couldn't. I saw you being the mother he lost. Yes, I spied on you and it was wrong, but that's how I found out who you really are and who I am." Anna challenged him. "Someone who deserved trust from the start, and I failed you. I'm sorry, Anna. I'm sorry for everything." Mrs. Elena snorted. "What a pathetic scene. James, send her away right now." "No," Gabriel's little voice cut through everything. He ran in, planted himself in front of Anna, arms wide. "If she goes, I go too." James looked at his son, then at Anna, then at his mother, and made the hardest choice of his life. "Mama, you're the one leaving." Mrs. Elena went white. "What?" "You raised me, I'm grateful, but this is my house, my family, and I choose Anna, I choose my son. If you don't like it, the door's right there." Mrs. Elena shook with rage. "You'll regret this, James. When she leaves you just like that no-good fiancé left her, you'll see I was right." She grabbed her bag, walked to the door, turned one last time. "And don't come looking for me later, I warned you." The door slammed. The sound of the carriage rolling away echoed in the silence. Anna looked at James, confused. "Why did you do that?" "Because I was wrong." "And why?" "Because you deserve to be defended, not thrown out." She shook her head, tears falling. "But the whole, James, you spied on me. How can I ever trust you now?" "You can't, not yet, but I'll spend the rest of my life trying to earn it back, if you'll let me." Gabriel tugged Anna's skirt. "Anna, stay, please." She looked at the boy, at the man, and felt the weight of the choice. Would you stay or walk away for your dignity? Share this moment with someone who needs to hear it. The real ending is almost here. Anna stayed, but not like before. There was distance now. She took care of Gabriel, yes, but she avoided James. No more eating at the table with them, no more small talk. At night she locked her door. James respected it, didn't push, but he patched the hole, and one morning he slipped a note under her door. "I know I broke your trust, but I swear I'll earn it back, one day at a time." Anna read it and cried, but didn't answer. 2 weeks went by like that, tense, quiet. Then Gabriel got sick. It hit sudden, high fever in the middle of the night. James woke to the boy's cries and ran to his room. Gabriel was shaking, soaked in sweat, delirious. "Anna, Rosie, somebody," James yelled, panicked. They came running. Anna put her hand on Gabriel's forehead and went pale. "He's burning up. We need the doctor now." "I'm going." James ran out, saddled his horse, and galloped through the night to town Steve. He banged on Dr. Thompson's door, dragged him out of bed, and raced back. The doctor examined Gabriel while Anna held him, singing softly even though the boy was out cold. James paced, biting his nails, praying to every saint he could think of. "It's typhoid fever," the doctor said. "Must have drunk bad water. Happens this time of year. I'll give medicine, but you need to prepare yourselves. It's dangerous, especially for kids." "He'll be okay?" James asked, voice cracking. "Don't know, depends on him, and on the care." Anna never left the room, not to eat, not to sleep. She changed cold cloths on his forehead, spooned medicine, sang, prayed, begged. James stayed too, sitting in the corner, watching this woman give everything for a child who wasn't even hers. On the third night, Gabriel got worse. Fever wouldn't break. His little body convulsed. The doctor came again, shook his head. "Say your prayers. He may not make it through the night." Anna collapsed, hugging the boy, sobbing. "No, Gabriel, no. You can't go. You promised you stay with me. You promised." James knelt on the other side of the bed, holding his son's tiny cold hand. "Gabriel's son, Daddy, here, Anna here, we're not leaving you. Fight, buddy, fight for us." Hours crawled by. Every weak breath was torture. Anna and James prayed together now, not even noticing their hands almost touching over the boy's body. Then, as the sun came up, Gabriel opened his eyes. "Anna," he whispered. She sobbed, kissed his forehead. "I'm here, baby. I'm right here." "Daddy." "I'm here too, son. Right here." Gabriel gave a weak smile, then drifted into real sleep, peaceful sleep. The fever had broken. The doctor came back that morning, checked him, and grinned. "It's a miracle. He's gonna make it." When the doctor left, Anna and James were alone in the room, Gabriel sleeping between them. For the first time in weeks, they really looked at each other. "Thank you," James said, voice thick, "for not giving up on him." "I'll never give up on him," Anna whispered, wiping tears. "Or on you, even when you hurt me." James reached out his hand. She hesitated, then took it. They sat there, fingers locked, watching the boy breathe. Some hurts only love can heal. Drop a comment if you've ever lived this. The real ending is coming. Gabriel got better slow. Took 2 weeks before he was running in the yard again, but when he came back stronger than ever. First thing he asked, "Anna, you're never leaving, right? I almost died, you stayed, so you gotta stay forever." Anna looked at James, who was standing close. "Gabriel, we don't know what the future." "I know what I want for the future." James cut in, stepping forward. Anna tensed. James took a deep breath. Anna, I spent months watching you, first with suspicion, then with wonder, and now with love. She opened her mouth, but he kept going. I know I don't deserve it. I know I failed you. I know I spied when I should have trusted. I know I hurt you. But I'm in love with you, not the nanny, not the woman who saved my son. You, the Anna who cries in private so nobody worries. The Anna who sings sad songs when she thinks nobody's listening. The Anna who's gonna be a mama but still gives everything to somebody else's kid. Tears poured down her face, but she didn't speak. I want you to stay, not as help but as my wife, as Gabriel's mama, as mama to your baby too, because I'll love that child like my own. I'll give her my name. I'll protect you both with my life if you let me. Anna shook her head, sobbing. James, you don't know what you're saying. People will talk, your mother. Let them talk, let my mother stay mad. I don't care anymore, I only care about you and him. He looked at Gabriel, then back at her. Marry me, Anna, not out of pity, not because it's easy, but because we choose each other. We've already been through fire together. We survived, now let's live. Anna covered her face, crying hard. Gabriel tugged her skirt. Say yes, Anna, say yes. She uncovered her face, looked at the two of them, the man and the boy, and saw what she never had. A real family, not perfect, full of mistakes, but real. I'm scared, she whispered. James took her hands. Me too, but we'll be scared together. Anna took a shaky breath and, voice trembling but strong, said, Yes, I'll marry you. Gabriel whooped and jumped into both their arms. Right there in the middle of the yard, under the afternoon Georgia sun, the three of them hugged. A broken family, patched together, but whole. Love ain't perfect, but when it's real, it heals. Tell me in the comments what you felt right now. The epilogue is waiting. The preacher hesitated. James, you sure? This girl's pregnant by another man. Folks'll talk. The church, well, the church won't like it. Then we'll do it at the courthouse. And that's what they did. No big party, no guests except Rosie, who cried harder than the bride and groom. Anna wore a simple white dress Rosie sewed in a hurry. James wore his daddy's old black suit. Gabriel stood beside them holding both their hands. When they walked out of the courthouse, people were waiting, not to cheer but to judge. Whispers, side eyes, women turning away. Anna hung her head, ashamed, but James held her hand tight, lifted her chin, and walked tall. Let them look, we know the truth. On the way home, Gabriel asked, Daddy, were those ladies mad? They were. Why? James looked at Anna, then his son. Because we don't live to make other people happy, Gabriel, we live to make our hearts happy, and if our hearts are at peace, the rest is just noise. Anna squeezed his hand, grateful. Months passed, Anna's belly grew, people kept talking but quieter. Some neighbors started visiting again, curious. They saw James happy, saw Gabriel healthy, running, playing, saw Anna pregnant but smiling. Slowly, the judgment turned to respect. Mrs. Elena never came back, sent one letter months later saying she was ashamed of her son. James read it, sighed, and tossed it in the fire. Some love you gotta let go, even when it hurts. Anna went into labor on a full moon night. Rosie and the midwife came. James paced outside the room just like he did when Helen gave birth. But this time, there was no fear, only hope. When the baby's cry cut through the night, he burst in. Anna lay in bed, sweaty, exhausted, but alive. In her arms, a tiny perfect girl, red and screaming. It's a girl, Anna said, smiling tired. James knelt by the bed, touched the baby's head like she was made of glass. She's beautiful, just like her mama. What'll we name her? James thought of Helen, of everything they'd been through, and said, Hope, because that's what you brought back to this house. Anna cried happy tears. Gabriel, who'd been waiting with Rosie, ran in the second they let him, climbed on the bed, looked at his little sister, and whispered, Hi Hope, I'm Gabriel, and this is our mama. She's the best mama in the whole world. Anna hugged them both, the son of her heart and the daughter of her body. and knew she was finally home. Did you believe it was possible? Think about that. The final epilogue is waiting. 5 years later. Morning sun poured through the bedroom window, lighting up two kids tangled in the sheets. Gabriel, now 9, and Hope, 5, still asleep. Beside them, Anna woke slow, reaching across the bed for the other side where James lay, or pretended to. "I know you're awake," she whispered. He opened one eye, grinned. "How'd you know?" "'Cause you only snore when you're really asleep." He laughed, pulled her close. "Good morning, wife." "Good morning, husband." They lay there a few minutes, just enjoying the quiet. Downstairs they heard Rosie fussing at somebody in the kitchen, probably one of the new hands she bossed around like she owned the place. James got up, dressed, then stopped at the door. "Got something to show you, something I never showed you before." Anna raised an eyebrow, curious. "What?" He held out his hand. She took it. They went up to the dusty attic she'd never entered. James lit a lantern, lighting up old beams, boxes, cobwebs. Then he pointed at the floor. "There." Anna looked. One board was patched, and in the middle was a tiny round scar the size of a dime, the hole. "I patched it," he said, "but I left the mark." "Why?" "Because I never want to forget my mistake. Never want to forget I judged you before I knew you, that I distrusted when I should have trusted." Anna knelt, touched the wood. "Why show me now?" "Because yesterday Gabriel asked how we met. I didn't know what to tell him. Didn't want to lie, but didn't want him to know the ugly part." Anna looked at him. "So what did you say?" "Told him we met when I was lost, and you found me." He knelt beside her. "And it's true, I was lost, Anna, lost in pain, anger, distrust. And you taught me to trust again, to love again, to see the world with clean eyes." She took his hand. "But you saved me too, gave me a home when nobody else would, gave me a family, gave me dignity." "We saved each other then." They stayed there on their knees in the dusty attic, looking at the tiny scar in the wood, a small mark from a big mistake, but also a reminder that mistakes can be fixed, distrust can turn to love, judgment can turn to understanding. Downstairs, Gabriel yelled. "Mom, Dad," Rosie said, "there's cornbread cake." They laughed, stood up, walked down hand in hand. Life on the plantation kept rolling, hard work, tough days, tired nights, but also laughter, hugs, Gabriel teaching Hope to read, Anna pregnant again, this time with James's baby, Rosie scolding everybody but baking cakes for every birthday. And every time James went up to the attic for something, he'd look at that little scar in the wood and give thanks. Thanks for messing up, because messing up was how he learned. Spying was how he saw, judging was how he discovered he was wrong. Sometimes the best stories start with the worst beginnings. Start with distrust, fear, a hole in the wall, but they end with love, trust, and a family that wasn't born perfect, but became real. And that was more than enough. If this story touched your heart, subscribe and like so it reaches more people. This helps the channel grow. Every story here comes straight from our people's souls, and there's always another one waiting for you. Amen.